Hi, everyone. Josh Sachs here with a different kind of local pros episode where I'm talking to the winners of the most recent event in Ontario. So the last event we had here was the King's Forest Open, presented by or elevated by Thoughtspace Athletics. With me, I have the FPO champion, Alicia Hums, and I also have the MPO champion, Chris Ozolins. How are you guys?
Hey, good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great, Josh. Thanks.
So, first event of the season, weather was March weather in Ontario, so that needless to say, unpredictable. I know it was a little windy out. I was out in Lynbrook on Saturday when you guys played. How was the weather out in Hamilton?
Windy. Windy was the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It was March 16th, and there was no snow on the ground, so I think fantastic. But yeah, a little bit dusty.
Alicia, you played both rounds mids, and Oz, you played one mid, one long.
You got it.
I noticed you guys played the longs first, and that's kind of counter to what I've seen in a lot of events that I've played in so far in my career. Was there a reason for doing it that way, or was it just kind of pace of play thing?
100%. I'd never done it before in a tournament I've run, but it was something that we noticed during the Golden Horseshoe Doubles event earlier when the course opened in late November, beginning of December. Our second round dragged on like crazy, and I wanted to try to avoid that. I think people have more energy at the beginning of the round anyways, so try to tackle the tougher layout first, and then when everyone's a little bit fatigued, give them a bit of a break.
And you kind of just ran away with this event in the MPO division. Was it? Hold on, I was just looking at this, like 13 strokes or something over second place. Yeah, minus 23 over 2 rounds with a couple extra holes on the course.
Yeah, 21 holes per round. So there's normally only 19 on the course, but we've changed the layout a little bit for the end of the season.
And Alicia took yours. Not quite the 13 stroke difference, but I think you took it by 5 over Jess.
Yeah, it was a tough battle right up until the last maybe 5 holes. So it was it's fun. It's fun when you're close like that. Every shot has that much more pressure on it.
Mm-hmm. I think Oz, you ended up having someone on the chase card just trying to track you down there. I think Brownie was coming up from the card.
Yeah, Brownie got his qualifier spot, so good for him for tying both Andrew Leyland and I want to say Cam Zanini, who ended up tied with him after the final hole. Actually, it made a big difference, so good for him.
Yeah, lots of birdies and eagles on that scorecard, actually, from the mids round. It was really nice to see. So what went well for you guys? Any disc that was just doing great things for you, or a shot that was working out really well for you? I'll start with Alicia.
Yeah, disc. When I am putting in those crazy winds, my temple comes out. It's like my stable TSA putter. It's usually just my approach disc, but raging headwinds, raging tailwinds, that like slight hyzer putts that get lifted over the basket. It doesn't happen with my temple. So that was like my go-to within the greens. It was my my savior a couple of times, and saved me some strokes, saved me some rollaways, some lifts. It was good disc.
Oz, anything in your bag shining?
Yeah, I mean, when it's windy, the omen comes out and it doesn't go back in pretty much. So totally underrated disc. It's my Firebird equivalent, I guess, but a little bit beefier depending on what plastic you throw it in. So I was just leaning into that a lot. I mean, angle controls everything in the wind. You want to keep that nose down. And also for me, a big part of this was I was injured all last season, had a tennis elbow, and it sucked. And Mr. Hums was helping me a lot with that. Just trying to rehab that, but coming back and not having that was such a nice experience. So I enjoyed that a lot.
Any disc that ended up in the doghouse after Saturday's rounds?
Most of my distance drivers are a bit flippy, and I think it took me a little too long to just like accept that this was not the day for them. So not in the doghouse, but by round 2, it was like, okay, stop throwing this. Use your Omen. Use some of your stable drivers. Just put the flippy ones away. It's not their day. So not in the doghouse. Just out for the day.
Is there anything you're thinking of replacing if you know you're going to a tournament with a lot of wind?
You know what? I'm pretty lucky. I usually bring my cart, which allows for me to have way too many discs at all times. So I'm usually prepared for all the things that could happen.
Chris, anything in the that was kind of sitting on the sidelines all day?
No, I mean, I didn't take the Omen out a lot. I throw an Emperor for my distance driver too, Emperor and Halo Destroyer, and they're really beefy. They were nice, but I guess I didn't get to take my practice out enough. Like I love that disc, but when it's windy, it's a pretty neutral disc, so you don't want to mess around with that. But so I guess it was unfortunate, but I smartly left it in the bag for most of the round.
I forgot I had 2 TSA people here.
TSA people, TSA sponsored event. It was a good day.
Yeah.
It's almost as though it worked in your favor to be throwing those discs. So what do you guys have coming up next, Alicia?
Yeah, I've got a bit of time off now. I don't have a tournament until nearing the end of April, P15. It's funny, the last time I was on with you, Josh, I was raving about P15, and I'm going to rave about it again. I'm looking forward to it. I was actually down in the GTA area leading up to the tournament this weekend, and we stopped by and played a practice round there. So it felt pretty good. Wasn't nearly as windy as it was on Saturday. Hoping for the same thing a month from now.
I mean, it's April in Ontario. You never know what you're going to get. Hopefully it's not as wet as last year.
Yeah, that would be good.
And Chris, what do you have coming up next?
I think I might see you this upcoming Sunday. Are you playing Sunday Drive at Lynbrook to close the season out?
I am playing Sunday Drive at Lynbrook to close out the season because
nice.
As much as it's not a sanctioned event, it's a fun course. Pubs always puts on a good tourney. I think he's got or he's having us pre-order lunch if we want it, just to make sure it's all ready to go for when we get in. So that'll be nice.
There's something nice about unsanctioned events too. It's a little less pressure. You don't have to go play beforehand and worry so much. But then after that, the OCC season kicked off, but we've got Stone's Throw coming up too, and then Project 15, and trying to snag the Music City Open in between those. So it's my April.
That's quite an April. I was going to say, how do you do in between that? Because I thought those were back-to-back weekends, unless I'm thoroughly mistaken.
Project 15 and Music City Open are the same, and I'm really low on the wait list for Music City Open right now, so we'll see. But either or will be a fantastic tournament. Alicia's totally spot on. Like Project 15 is one of the best properties in Ontario, and Gabe's the owner, a fantastic guy.
Well, thank you both for your time. This is the first of what I hope will be a number of tournament wrap-ups. One or both of you back on as you win some more events this season. And yeah, Oz, I have to get you on for a regular episode. I haven't had a chance to sit down with you yet and go through the full interview. Alicia can tell you I'm pretty gentle. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you down the line.
See you.
Thanks, Josh. Congrats, Alicia.
Thanks.